All right, good afternoon, cyber traders. Welcome on back here this Thursday, March 16th. Great to see all of us here live, still with us here at least. We got Sydney, we have Uli, we have Mario, we have all of us just joining us here right now, joining us live. Great to see all of us back. Great to have all of us back all together, though, on social media as well. Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. Great to have Michael with us here inside our live trading room as well, loud and clear from him. Good to go. So, with that said, markets have been really flat this whole afternoon. Ended up running up pretty nicely. So, perhaps we could see continuation of that trend heading into the close. For right now, hey, BE, Bloom Energy on the screen to begin. Just was kind of scanning the market right before this meeting here. I ended up getting back to my desk around like 210, 215, and had a couple of things like slow moving on the way up and just wanted to move around. And I ended up stumbling upon Bloom, perhaps, hopefully not too little too late, hopefully more left on this trade, but ended up dropping off pretty nicely already without us, off of like roughly the lows there off of 1820, 1815. So with saying that, I mean, hey, it's at the lows. It's easy to borrow going into the market close. So it's exactly where you'd want to see a short. Yeah, Bloom will definitely put on our watch list here to begin. I don't have level 4 open for this trade, but in the meantime, I'll pull it up and we'll talk about it coming up just as we finish up this meeting here. All right, so Bloom on the way down, BXRX top percent gainer on the way up right now. This is one of the ones that we were kind of focused on just beforehand. Ended up leading to a nice pop just before over 2 and over 195, roughly the highs there. So, I mean, yeah, much like Bloom, with a long here heading into the close, seeing it at or right near the highs, pretty good sign. Pretty liquid trade too. Looking at level 3 and level 4. I do have level 4 open for this one. Let me bring it up here. All right, so it looks a little blotchy, a little messy right now even. Just before, though, and we were saying this roughly off that 195, it was even 197 to where we ended up seeing a pretty large sell order out there for about 11, 12,000 shares roughly. So it wasn't just the highs, but that iceberg order in particular created that resistance, not even at 2. So it ended up breaking above both at least 196 here and 2, ended up leading to the higher high. So, yeah, I mean, hey, I'll put a line at both actually. As a whole number, you'd expect 2 to be a key level, but I'd even say like 196 there. Have that create a bit of an interim support level there to complement 2. So for right now, definitely BXRX, I'll put on our list. All right. Really quick housekeeping note for all of us inside the live trading room here, heading into the market close. Normally, Rich would be on the mic. I'm tagging him out. So, a man of many hats today. I'll be back on the mic wrapping up for us going into the close. Hey, I'll be back on at 3 o'clock. So, you got me for the next hour, and really 30 minutes from this point forward. So, let's go from top to bottom right now. Let's see what we can grab, build up our watch list. Market kind of dragging a little bit off the highs here, perhaps. Still kind of holding there, but we'll see if there's anything still moving pretty nicely upward first. Always got to do this here. Price column. Should probably keep it that way. All right, CRBP. Wow, kind of running into this right now. I didn't really even notice this until just now. Maybe I clicked on it in the morning and then quickly clicked away. But yeah, right now, easily enough to put this on our list. Nice. I mean, just the only issue I have on this trade, where I'm getting to on this, is the liquidity. Looking at level 3, and certainly as we'll pull it up, level 4, seeing how thin and spread out the liquidity is on both sides, the bid and the ask. So if our whole thesis and MO is to follow the big money, and there's really not that much big money to follow, doesn't exactly make it too easy of a trade there, does it? So yeah, it ended up moving up pretty nicely. And yeah, you could see there's a small little iceberg here at like 409, 410. All right, that helped it up pretty nicely there. But do you really have that much faith in 450 being a key level when there's only like 4,000 shares there? So, that's where I say you got to be a little mindful about like where a clean resistance is. I'd even say this makes 410 that much bigger, about a 20,000 share buy print, 21,000 share buy print that got filled there heading into 2 o'clock. So, hey, it's on the way up. We like it. Just you want to see a more well-defined level out of this trade, if anything. So I'll put it on our list. I like the BXRX and then the BE trade on the way down a little bit more. All right, so we'll keep it going though. Otherwise, hopefully this can show a nice level here on the order book. Yeah, I will say if anything, this thing's had a pretty clean level right off of 445, 450, roughly back from the beginning of this year, really. So it's actually approaching that price right now, holding underneath it right there. Pretty clean, pretty clean. All right, we got a bunch of these like wacky bank stocks here, right? We'll kind of skim through the bank stocks all together right now. You got like 6 different FRCs up there. You got a PACW, I'm sure, lingering around. So yesterday we ended up seeing the bank stocks make a nice run back up, nice squeeze back up, but a lot of them were still down percentage wise. The WAL was one of the only ones that was up percentage wise. First Republic here ended up making a nice drop off early in pre-market, but again, like right around 10:15, more towards 10:30 Eastern time, ended up seeing a pretty strong bounce retracement back up. I think that's like the third out of 4 trading days in a row that we've had that. So ended up leading to a phenomenal pop up heading into the afternoon. This trade, though, is just too wacky. I mean, look at the order book. There's nothing out there to really confidently follow. So if you're trying to roll the dice, go to the casino, hope it runs. All right, like you could try that, but just realize that's what you're doing. You're not really applying much strategy based off of level 3 there. I'd rather much follow a more liquid bank, though. If there's like a PACW, we did really well on this trade heading into the early to mid afternoon. This is a lot better of an order book to follow. Ended up making a very similar move. Key Bank. This one is actually probably the least volatile out of all these bank stocks, and that's okay. That's a good thing. In times like this. Ron says C-bounce, as in Citigroup. I mean, if you really want to go name brand, yeah, Citigroup, of course, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, is that WFC? All of them made a similar move. Hey, you want to find something that fits your personality, right? So they all ended up making a nice tradable run up. As far as like most bang for your buck, I feel like the PACW probably leads that for right now because of the price and just how sharp it moves. Let me jump around to your WAL. This is just so wacky. It's a little more expensive, so expectedly so. It's going to make it's going to make a larger move dollar wise. But yeah, I mean the key bank trade I think looks pretty interesting. The PACW in particular, the FRC. I mean, again, just ended up getting halted 4 or 5 times across that afternoon here. So that's definitely a lot more of a gamble, a lot more of a risk than anything. Hey, up to you, right? So I'm going to put PACW on our list. I'm going to put Key on our list. I would say Citigroup, Wells Fargo, all of those are very tradable because of the order book. But yeah, otherwise, we'll see what else is out there. Don't need to trade every bank stock, just the one that looks like the best in terms of volume and big money. All right, so we keep going down the gainers list where we'll kind of continue to build up right now. And LIPO, for as much of a pop as this thing had early in pre-market, ended up just dying off early after the market opened up, even beforehand. But at least here, heading into the afternoon, how about this? Nice retracement back up, moving up just about 25 cents off the lows. Uh, Not much of a clear iceberg on the S just yet. That's okay. It's pretty liquid. I'm sure we'll find something popping up here. 270, perhaps a bit of a big volume level from earlier this morning. Let me just check the opening bell print, if I may, on this trade. I don't know if I had bookmap open for this one here. Nah, I don't. All right, 1 second here. I'm going to pop it up one more time. All right, so you got something up top here at 285, or about 30,000, 31,000 shares on the offer. Let's see if there's anything here I can kind of just look at. Nah, I can't really use much of this here at all. Opening print probably is tiny, if anything, off 278. Yeah, I would put more focus on that iceberg that's currently out there. Again, it was about a 31,000 share order up top here at 285, just a penny or a couple of pennies underneath the high of the day. So, you know what? I like this trade. I'll put this on our list here, LiPo. All right, let's see what else we got here. We got, like I'm telling you, like 6 different FRCs out there. I have no idea what all of these mean. .pk, .pm, .ph, .p. Is there like literally one for every letter of the alphabet? What are we doing here? AIMD. Here we go. This is not a FRC stock. Ended up making a nice pop just before and pushing back up here. So definitely going to put this on our main list. Bit of an iceberg on the bid. Let's make sure that doesn't get completely broken through there at 174 as support. Order on the ask at 184 coming up ahead. And then I'd assume 2 up top. AIMD. We ended up trading the stock back on Tuesday of this week. Did all right on it, but then it died off early heading into the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. So I ended up making a nice little move then. Better move today. We'll see where it could take us. All right. So what else we got here? ENSC, not really within our price range there. LiPo, we just saw that. Path. All right. PATH. This could be tradable in essence. Good order book, fair price. Ended up making a pretty nice pop and drop earlier today to where it ended up holding a lower high and led to a new pullback on a short. So, this has been tradable in both directions, but hey, if you zoom out pretty much, it's not really going much of anywhere now. It's just, hey, bouncing a little bit, but is it going to pop and run all the way back up? I doubt it. So, hey, could be a good stock to follow tomorrow morning. Better probably tomorrow morning than this afternoon. I'll write it down for my side list just so I remind myself tomorrow morning of it. I'll do that. Don't really trade the stock too frequently, although it does trade a lot of volume day to day, which is good. So again, hey, if this could become more volatile, more active morning by morning, I'll be a fan. I'm a fan of this. HUBC. And why am I a fan of this? Well, obviously. But aside from that, looking at the price and the fact that it is a new IPO. So, we don't like hunt or look for these new IPOs all the time, but when they come across our plate, when they fall into our lap and you see that this is like getting closer and closer to, its all-time high, we know what happens when a stock blasts over an all-time high. So there's not much of a, clear resistance or a ceiling to work off of there. So yeah, I'll put this on our list. It's just a little stagnant right now. Hopefully by like 315, 330, this could become a better trade. And still, hey, at the end of the day, it's moving up a little bit here and inch by inch, it's getting closer to the high of the day. It's only 7 cents off from 237. All right, OKYO, OKYO, we'll call it. Not doing much right now. Yeah, EOSC ended up making a nice move back up again. So we did pretty well on the stock back in the middle of February last month from like 150 up to 2 and change. So moving back up again this afternoon. Why not? EOSE. Just be careful if the volume dies off from this very point because I had a nice spike a moment ago. And then since I know it's pushed up a little bit, but if we get a pullback back below 205 and it holds back under 205, that's a bit of a red flag. I'd be a little careful there. All right, THMO, another one from earlier today. This is the one that had like the crazy direct offering of shares or at the market offering that we had, like whatever it was that came out. Like that thing got clobbered out of nowhere. I feel bad for anyone that was in that trade at the time because certainly there were traders here that got caught in it. I know that because I spoke to you through private chat. There's traders elsewhere that got caught slipping on this trade. Not even to say slipping. It's not even to say that it was your fault. When a stock comes out with like common stock offering news or direct offering of shares news, you don't know when it's coming out. We've seen it mid market day, hell, at like 1 p.m. out of nowhere. I remember like years back, I was talking to one of our students, internationals from Australia, and he got caught on one of them. It was a bad situation. So if you got caught slipping on this or like got caught in this, I should say, that's not your fault. You can't set stops in pre-market. Remember that. So like that makes it more dangerous to trade pre-market altogether. But that type of drop was unexpected. So, it was a shame that it ended up happening, ended up making like a bit of a retracement back up. And hey, for this afternoon, it's trying. It's trying to make another push. So is it possible for it to run up higher towards 6 or maybe even blast over that and make a stronger run up? Yeah, absolutely. Just be careful of the spread. Look at that. Just kind of opened up a bit there. 9 cents for the most part. 7 to 9 cents. That's a little bad. All right. I'm going to put this on our side list. I'll come back to it at the end. If it tanks, we'll forget about it. If it holds here, then we'll see. Yeah, CPRX, not much happening there. SMMT, familiar name. Just wanted to look at it there quickly. Got HIMS. It's moving up a little bit. There's better trades, though, I feel. And then OPRT, same deal. All right, so folks, let me know if there's anything else looking good on the way up from the gainers list moving upward. I'm going to hop over to the loser side right now, seeing if there's anything looking better or as good. We'll take as good. I mean, we got a good list already, so we'll take as good. LPSN, I'm going to put this on our list because it does look as good. It doesn't look as great as a short, to be transparent with you, because it's not trending really that much down at this point, making higher lows. But it's down enough percentage-wise to where, hey, if it's not going to break any lower, maybe there's a chance that you end up seeing a bit of a dead cat bounce and a squeeze back up higher. So, it is tradable both ways. If it ends up holding a lower high and pulls back, then we'll focus on a short. Otherwise, higher lows for right now, and we'll look to see this try and make the move back up over 450 again. Now, we actually got a bunch of stocks that are like crushed right now, down big, like 30 to 50%. So let's see. PTRA, I'm sure they're kind of all within the same business, or a few of them at least are. PTRA, a little bit slower. It's down as much percentage-wise, but don't really care for it too much there. ESPR, certainly. You could say the same with there. Not going to focus on that. TLS, dead. All right, so I guess it makes it easy for us to kind of eliminate those, right? Process of elimination wasn't too hard there. Makes my life easier. I felt like I was already building up kind of a big list, so if you kind of keep it at just this right now, I'll be happy. Momo dropped off earlier. I feel like this move is done for the most part. It could be a good side list stock tomorrow. We'll see. All right, so that's going to wrap it up across the loser side, folks. Going to check in with the trading room first. Check out what our students have to say first. Then we'll go across social media. From let's go to Ron, then Mike. So from Ron, Citigroup, you're talking about just some of the banks, and then Alcoa, his side list stock there. So Alcoa, right? We ended up focusing on this yesterday. Dropped off pretty nicely, and then at least for today, making a little bit of a recovery, probably partially with the market, and it's at the highs now technically, but given the price, is it going to make a sharper pop than this? I don't know if it's gonna. Nice day for Alcoa, but probably a lot that could look like that, right? Because, hey, as I kind of just intermittently skip through my side list, Coinbase at the highs, and, could be a nice pop, but $66 stock. You got better bang for your buck. There's definitely better, trades for the price. Hey, we were buckled in on AMD this morning. $92 stock at the time, or $91 when we were first calling it out. This ripped up beautifully. That's actually pushing back up. Michael's saying, of course, now he's saying Intel would have been a nice day trade. It was a nice day trade. We were calling it out early this morning. Rich was typing it in the chat board, the resistance all the way up towards 30. Now with that, though, and this trade's definitely flat here, it's probably going to remain like this for the most part heading into the close. Even if it breaks back over 30, it's going to be tough to see it squeak higher. This has a lot of liquidity on the book. AMD does too, but maybe that's even more bang for the buck, and that's like triple the price even, right? Goes to show I don't discriminate against the expensive stocks. For anyone out there that says, like, we only trade the cheap, I like AMD, but otherwise, though, like looking at this right now, I just feel like there's even better trades than this. We'll focus in on a couple more. Let's see if there's anything on social media right now, Facebook Live or the works. Nothing there. Checking Benzinga Pro right now. That's how I ended up catching Bloom BE. We have that on our list already. That's on the top. Not much that looks like a big name down percentage-wise. Actually, how about this? Pun intended. Let's go to big. Nah, it's not looking good. Damn. I was going to say maybe I thought that was making a bit of a drop-off. Popped up on my screener here. Peloton, PTON's doing nothing. Pass on that. I'm just trying to sift through. We're not forcing anything out there, folks, but seeing if there's anything that I missed. Yeah, not much happening on this either. All right, from the gainer side, maybe anything from the gainer side making a push up, perhaps. Oh, I definitely need to filter my volume criteria there. That's probably why. All right, what else we got? FRC, again, more of a gamble stock at this point. Say the same on WAL. That's why I like the other bank stocks more. PACW and KeyBank. I'll tell you, folks, I think that we're pretty much all wrapped up. We got a good list here. Let me check out the side list stocks I wrote down here at the end. We had Path going nowhere and THMO. It's trying to eke up a little bit, but I am not a fan of the order book. It was a mess yesterday. And hell, even before the news that came out this morning that led to that like ugly 3-point drop off, and I wasn't expecting it. Trust me, it's not like I was saying I calling that move, but I was clearly alliterating in the trading room this morning, like before that drop happened. I was saying, guys, this has a really thin order book, and it was a mess yesterday. I ended up posting that really early in the morning. I think I'd said that like at 8:19 Eastern time. I'll copy and paste, but that goes to say again, this stock is very thinly traded and it was a mess today. So, for that reason, I'm not going to be as particular with putting this on our main list. There's the repost inside our live trading room. But with saying that, though, I mean, hey, there's plenty of others that look good. We got a good list already. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different stocks to work with. That's perfect. All right. So, folks, aside from that, for all of us on social right now, I'm going to post my email here at the end of the streams, as I always do. Josh at ctutrading.com. Any questions that you got for me, feel free to shoot me over a quick email. Otherwise, if you're interested in joining our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the green banner below right there to get yourself set up or started. And again, for all of us there right now, going to take a bigger water break than that because I'm going to be back on the mic coming up in 8 minutes, wrapping us up from 3 to 4 p.m. All right. I'm tagging in for Rich. He's got the afternoon off. So with that said, I'll be back on pretty shortly, folks. Talk to you soon.